Well, beautiful chapel that you have here, but it also comes with some challenges when it comes to being energy efficient. You have large ceilings, it's not stained glass windows. What sort of the challenges did you have before you guys went through this renovation?
Well, we had a lot of challenges. We had a 75-year-old building with infrastructure from that era. And although the building was built in a very energy efficient manner for the time in 1931, times have changed and we've become much more knowledgeable about energy efficiency and what it means to save energy. So that was a whole movement in itself to learn how to become more energy efficient out of our desire to create more sustainable community. We did not touch the chapel when we did a lot of that work, although we did put geothermal heating and cooling in this chapel, so that helps a lot in terms of energy efficiency. But now we're starting to work on the stained glass windows to make them more, that'll be the next project, to make them more energy efficient, to seal them, reseal them, re-lead them, and preserve them. I think they saw a gold mine of low-hanging fruit that they could take care of right away, but they also saw this tremendous challenge, and they were intrigued by the challenge of how to install energy-efficient systems in an older building and do it in a real economical way. So they're cutting, or they're forming, or they're carving a path for the future, because this is going to become much more a practice in the United States, where you don't throw away or recycle the building. You know, you don't tear it down, you reuse the building, as they do in Europe. So the more practice they can get at installing energy efficient systems in a building of this age, the better.
And what were some of the steps that were taken to make this campus more energy efficient?
Well, one of the biggest decision that we had to make was whether we would renovate this building or replace the building. And we chose, because we were very concerned about sustainability and sustainable living, that we were going to reuse the building. So then we studied how you could, and what you could recycle of the building, and how you could reuse it, and how you could share elements that we could no longer use with other companies or nonprofits so that they could use the materials. So we had lots of things that went to like Ann Arbor Recycling so that they could reuse it. But so in the process, we reused a lot of material, and we went about looking at how we could make it the most energy efficient and what kind of system we needed to install. And we decided that geothermal heating and cooling was the way for us to go. And that was a very big decision. And that meant that we have 232 boreholes out here, 450 feet deep, with a closed loop running around out there, and then bringing the heat from the earth into the building at 55 degrees, and then it's raised through friction to about 72 degrees. And then in the summertime, the process is reversed, and the earth is used as a giant radiator in that process to hold the heat of the summer in the earth, and then we redraw it back in some ways in the wintertime.
There's a religious aspect to this about being good stewards of the land. God gave us this earth, and we need to take care of it. How much did that influence the decision? Because I mean, you guys obviously, you're saving a lot of money by being energy efficient, but it goes beyond dollars, doesn't it?
Oh yes. Our motivation was out of our need. We needed to do something with the building, but we were also very much involved and concerned about what we called ecojustice, that the earth be treated in a just manner. And we grew in that concept and understanding that if you're going to have social justice, you have to have eco-justice. We're all creatures of the earth, and this is our common home. We share this in common. And then we went back to Catholic social teaching, which stresses over and over again the common good and a concern for creation. Creation is a starting point, and it's the most perfect reflection of the divine that there is. And then it's our common worship space. We worship from the earth. We praise God in that manner, and we see God reflected in the earth and in each other. So that was great motivation for us. And then we started to read some theologians who were pondering these questions, and of course we learned in an interdisciplinary way from science and other hard sciences, you know, that were having such an impact, biology and chemistry, and then how that influences your theological beliefs and your faith.
And do you look at this as another way to continue that mission, to teach others about what's been going on here?
Very good question, and absolutely we do. We see this as one of our newest educational institutions. So people come here all the time to learn about how to become more sustainable in their lifestyles and live more in harmony with the earth. We have tours here all the time, and groups of people, you know, children, adults, professionals, college students, all kinds of people come through here to study our systems and to learn from what we've done here. We tried to create a real integrated system here where we addressed geothermal, heating and cooling. We addressed water, because water is going to be the next big issue in our world. It already is a huge issue in our world about water consumption and how to use water more sparingly so that there will be more potable water into the future for other generations. And then we did we created an energy lighting efficiency study and installed very high energy efficient lighting also out of that whole concern to have an integrated campus. And then we also restored the landscape as the fourth part of that process.
Although this is a convent, correct?
Right.
But when you strip away the religion part, it's a large apartment building, and this could be replicated anywhere else.
It could be replicated anywhere else, and in fact we hope it will be replicated anywhere else, in other places. And religious communities, other communities of women have come here to learn about what we did, and so they go off and replicate it in their buildings as well. With every advance or an attempt to make a more sustainable system, you have to deal with all the problems that got you to this point in a new and creative way. So that's one way we're working at creating a more sustainable lifestyle. We are.
You had any backlash at all, or?
Oh yes, we have had some backlash, not severe backlash, but people questioning what we're doing, or why are you spending the money up front to put this system in when you could do it cheaper up front, but the long-term cost and the cost to the environment is much heavier, much more taxing. So you have to study everything in terms of 3 or 4 areas of concern, and that's one is the economics of it, the environmental issues, spiritual issues, and social issues. So you have to take all of those into account whenever you think about, you know, changing a system or improving something. What impact will this have? So those are the kinds of questions that we ask ourselves. You know, who loses and who wins in this situation? And are we doing more violence to the environment by installing the system, or are we creating a more earth-friendly environment?
What's been the results? What type of or have you been seeing any savings?
Yes, and we're saving about $185,000 a year in terms of energy, and then we're saving a lot in terms of water rates also, because of our water efficient system that we've installed, and the fact that we're saving it's 35% fresh water and 50% overall water reduction in so the rate changes, and that is another savings that we're realizing. So it's close to $200,000 a year that we're seeing, and we keep studying our systems, how to make them more energy efficient all the time, and looking at how we can tweak them and you know, what we can do. And you know, we're looking at how to create more sustainable systems in terms of health care and those other kinds of concerns, because we do have a large nursing home center here on the for our mother house, for our sisters and other people.